Monday afternoon, we hit 4 o'clock and we start with public defenders across Colorado who found themselves in the dark today with their computers shut down following a data breach.
They cut off access to their calendars, the court filing system, email, even things like police reports. As a result, judges postponed an untold number of cases.
Let's get right to our investigative reporter, Kevin Vaughn. He's in the newsroom. Kevin, this really is the computer age. Just about every facet of life is critical in these types of situations.
Tom, it absolutely is. If you walk into any courtroom in any county in Colorado, you will see a laptop computer in the hands of just about every single attorney.
There's no doubt that in the 21st century, our court system is entirely reliant on electronics.
9 News legal analyst Scott Robinson has practiced law long enough to remember when the most technologically advanced thing in a courtroom was a boxy TV set. These days, it's all about connectivity.
No electronics, no court system.
A breach in the state public defender's office crippled its hundreds of attorneys today. In a statement, a spokesman said some data within our computer system was encrypted with malware. As a result, the office disabled that system.
You can hold a paper calendar, but you can't file anything in court these days unless you're connected to the e-filing system. The vast majority of legal work that's done in the criminal defense bar is done electronically.
Today, that meant public defenders had to ask judges to postpone hearings in an untold number of cases.
It would be remarkable if any of the public defenders who this breach has affected could practice law under these conditions.
Those postponements are likely to ripple through the courts for weeks or even months.
This type of data breach does not just affect public defenders. It affects everyone involved in the court system.
We're still trying to determine how many cases this has affected, but consider this, the State Public Defender's Office handles about 130,000 cases a year. Kim?
Oh my goodness, it raises all kinds of concerns, and you also think about, there's a lot of sensitive material there too.
That's right. Everything, like they said, from police reports, discovery, in other words, all the stuff turned over to defense attorneys by prosecutors is all kept in this electronic system.
My goodness. Those are the things we don't think of when we hear these malware attacks, and that's a big one. All right, thank you, Kevin. One person was hurt in a shooting this afternoon. This happened near Federal and West Colorado Avenue. Denver police say that shooting happened outside, did not involve any of the businesses in the area. It's unclear how the person shot is doing. Police don't have any information about a possible suspect.
The Denver City Council is meeting, discussing a possible override of Mayor Johnston's veto, the proposal that would ban homeless sweeps in below freezing temperatures. The mayor said he had vetoed that bill because it would have restricted the city's ability to get people experiencing homelessness into shelter for 4 months of the year. The council originally narrowly approved the bill, a 7-6 margin 2 weeks ago. It would take at least 9 votes to override the mayor's veto.
We could call this Melting Monday, post-Super Bowl, sleep in, regret what you did yesterday, but really it's just warming up. So lots of melting, and the rest of the week looking pretty good.
Kathy's with us now, taking a look at those beautiful blue skies behind you.
Now remember, we did this last week, right?
Right.
And then what happened?
Then
It
it
snows
snowed.
on the weekend.
Back to you. No.
Okay.
We're doing that again, huh?
Yeah, there is snow in the forecast for Friday, but between now and Friday, more of this. Sunshine, almost spring-like warmth out there. We were in the mid-50s today, and just enough cloud cover. I think we're going to have a really pretty sunset tonight. Take those pictures, send them in to Kathy.Saban@9news.com. I'll post those tonight on 9 o'clock, at the 9 o'clock show and the 10 o'clock show. Also watching travel on the I-70 corridor. Really no issues after a great weekend of skiing and riding up there with all that fresh snow. We're still down to 50 in Denver, above average. Much of the Front Range and Eastern Plains running about 5 to 10 degrees warmer than average. A couple of passing high clouds in the northwest flow, but high pressures are a dominant feature and will continue for the next 72 hours. We're tracking a powerful storm off to the east that will become a big snowstorm in the northeast, with about 8 million people outside of New York under a winter storm watch. But not here. Southwest winds may bring in a few clouds, but will also keep temperatures above average for the next few days. We have a beautiful evening for anything that you might need to do, and good travel weather and lots of sunshine for you tomorrow. We're close to 50 now. We'll watch the numbers come down into the 30s by about 8 o'clock. And coming up in Maine weather, a mild, calm evening, a warm, dry week, and then it's Friday. This would be the 3rd or 4th Friday in a row that we've been talking about snow. More details on that coming up.
Okay, well, at least we're not on a patio somewhere on a Friday. Thanks, Kathy. Happening at the state capitol, lawmakers are planning to introduce a bill to stop oil and gas drilling in the state by 2030. According to our partners at the Denver Business Journal, the bill would revoke the ability to permit new wells this decade. The DBJ reports industry leaders and environmentalists have discussed the bill. Lawmakers could introduce it within days. Oil and gas workers are worried, and they fear that this could kill a multi-billion-dollar industry in Colorado. The bill will likely get significant pushback. Right now, our state is the fourth largest crude oil producer in the country.
Today, the state of Colorado started to mail out presidential primary ballots to registered voters. And if you are getting a Republican ballot, you will see Donald Trump's name on it. The U.S. Supreme Court did hear those arguments surrounding Trump's name still being on the Colorado ballot last week. While we await the justice's decision, of course, we heard the arguments last week, and it appears likely they are going to end up siding with the Trump team. Now, if you get one of these ballots, Republicans will also see 5 other candidates on the ballot who are no longer in the race. The primary itself just over 3 weeks away on March 5th. The Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, is back in a hospital in a critical care unit. This happening now more than a month since he had hid a health scare from almost everyone, including the White House.
And there is backlash against former President Trump for what he said about NATO and Russia this weekend. Gabe Gutierrez reports.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin in critical care, hospitalized at Walter Reed again yesterday, this time for symptoms of a bladder issue, according to the Pentagon. Overnight, doctors saying that Austin was then admitted to the critical care unit for supportive care and close monitoring. Last month, the defense secretary faced scrutiny for not telling the White House that he underwent surgery for prostate cancer until days later.
We did not handle this right, and I did not handle this right.
Now, the Pentagon announcing the stay publicly, saying he's transferring duties to his deputy. Concern for Austin coming as President Biden is on defense politically after that special counsel's report saying he faced memory issues. A new poll finds most Americans believe both President Biden and Republican frontrunner Donald Trump are too old for another term. And though he continued to attack Biden over the weekend, Trump himself is now under fire after a wild weekend rally where the former president encouraged Russia to attack U.S. allies if they don't pay their dues in NATO.
I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
His opponent, Nikki Haley, quickly responding.
What bothers me about this is don't take the side of a thug who kills his opponents.
Haley also speaking out about Trump's personal attacks on her husband, Michael, at the same rally.
What happened to her husband? Where is he? He's gone.
Haley writing back, Michael is deployed serving our country, something you know nothing about.
Donald Trump clearly doesn't understand that in South Carolina, we love our military men and women.
Former President Trump was back in court today, this time for his classified documents case. His supporters gathered outside. The closed hearing covered evidence that could impact whether Trump is tried before the November election. He's accused of taking hundreds of classified government documents when he left the White House. He has pleaded not guilty in the case, which is one of 4 criminal cases the former president is facing.